robust urban garlic flavor.
Today we are going to be talking about a robust, succulent man as he plays a game that is a simulator of taxi driving, which he is not good at anyway. But he starts the stream with a grand total of 50 minutes of pre-roll music that nobody wants to sit through. He finds that essential for some reason. Then he has 20 minutes complaining about GTA 4 mods. So it's like 70 minutes since he started the stream, since he clicked go live, and we have not seen any gameplay. So let's see how this goes.
And let me see where the camera goes. I don't recall for Taxi Life where I put my setup. Once again, every game I'm playing is completely different.
Yeah, looky here. This man, Philip Burnell, does not know how to use OBS effectively. What he should do, because he plays like 5 or 6 games at a time, is he should have 5 or 6 scenes set up where he puts it and then he saves the settings after the stream, so the next stream he can just auto-select that scene. But he doesn't think about that, because he's like, oh, that's too much work, I'd rather just waste my audience time and just drag and drop on it.
Geez, where is everyone tonight? Attendance is quite low tonight. What happened? People used to be really excited for Taxi Life. Where is everybody? We have only 150 people watching on YouTube. How many do we have on Kick? Only 50. What happened to Taxi Life? This stream was doing really well for the first 2 sessions. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, here's what happened, Phil. People clicked on the stream when you were like 30 minutes in, and the gameplay didn't show up, and they're like, where's Phil? I just see these stupid pre-roll ads. I don't want to sit through pre-roll ads, so they go somewhere else. That's why nobody's watching, Phil. You took too long to turn on the stream. You went live, and then you made 50 minutes of pre-roll ads. Get off Champions and actually entertain your audience. You shouldn't go more than 15.
We'll hang out for another few minutes, I guess, before we start, see if we can get more attendance. I don't know what's going on with Taxi Life. This has done well the last 2 weeks, you know, so I'm confused. Okay, now definitely my hair is cut off. Let me fix this. Can we see the GTA 4 issue while we wait? Do you really want to see it? It's frustrating. All right, fine. I'll show it to you. Ready? All right. Are we going to go here? Guys, tonight, obviously, let's have a chill time. As you know, when I'm playing this game, I like to hang out with you guys. There is a bummer. I can't play the music anymore. You want to know why? All the music in the game is claimed on YouTube and makes the video completely non-monetizable. So the last 2 videos I made of this game, I made nothing because I can't monetize them because of the AI music. So we're going to have to go with no music, which really sucks, but it is what it is. Okay. Really, so to be honest, it's not a big deal. The music already, we've heard all the songs on loop and we've already heard that they're boring. It sucks, you know, that's YouTube. Oh, music, claim it. So you can't monetize any content you put out. All right? And guys, can we get some support tonight for Taxi Life? I've liked Taxi Life the last couple of weeks, but let's see what happens tonight. If it goes well, again, we'll keep it as a weekly thing. But I'm worried because I'm taking a look at attendance tonight. And attendance is low, both on YouTube and on Kick. And so far, we have no support at all, so I'm wondering how it's going to go tonight. You know, are 2 driving games at once too much? I'll tell you what, Truck Sim is doing very well. Truck Sim, we got great attendance, great engagement, and the support has been very consistent, okay?
Don't we love it when we have robust, non-stop complaining when you watch a streamer? He's been on for like 70 plus minutes at this point, and we've done nothing but complaining. And now he's just sitting here watching for the game to load and looking at the screen instead of talking, Phil. That's not entertaining whatsoever. Stop picking your nose and start interacting with your audience. And he's wondering why attendance is so low. It's because he does stuff like this. It's just boring and not interactive. So who cares?
By the way, for the record, everyone, we're about to get started, but I have some bad news. We can't use music. You want to know why? Because the music, we were talking about this last time as we played, right? The music of this game, oh, how do I turn on the headlights? Oh, shoot. Forgot how to do that. We definitely got to turn the car lights on. Why can't I turn on my headlights? What is going on? I can't turn on my headlights. I can't turn on my headlights. They won't turn on. Look.
Wow, isn't this riveting content? The guy can't even remember the basic controls in the game. Don't you just want to sit here and throw money at this man for how entertaining he is? Come on, give him all your money. This is certainly the most robust playthrough we've ever done.
money to get this music in the game. Well, guess what? That music is on YouTube, claimed immediately when used. So if we make videos with that music in it, I get no revenue. All the videos immediately get claimed, and all my money that I should be making on the video goes to the music company. So obviously that's nonsense. That's really bad and shouldn't be happening, but that's how they've set it up, which is incredibly stupid. So I'm just not going to use the radio. I know it sucks because we were grooving out to some of that music, but at this point we've heard it all anyway. There's not that many songs in the game. I think each station has like 2 or 3 songs it plays through. So, you know, it is what it is. I didn't make the game, and I certainly didn't. I gotta get the car repaired. I certainly didn't decide to use that music in the game and do no research to find out that the music is claimed on YouTube, which is pretty messed up. That the game developers didn't look into that. Quite frankly, they definitely should have. So now anyone who plays this game with the music on can't monetize their content on YouTube. How dumb is that? So yeah, so we're not gonna have the music on moving forward. All right, here's the garage, and I just wrecked my car badly, so let's repair it.
Yeah, Phil, here's the thing. Audience doesn't care if your videos are monetized or not. They know you make most of your revenue on your streams because you harp it all the time, and they look at it. It's 500 views per video. That's not a lot of money, Phil.
Garage! What is going on? Oh, wait, my headlights aren't on again. Who will be the first person to support the stream tonight? So far, we have absolutely nothing. 0. Who will support Taxi Life tonight?
Look, guys, I bought a wheel for you. Why aren't you giving me money? I really need that money. I really do. You want to be entertained? Well, I got the wheel. Isn't that entertaining enough?
Starline did a £2 super chat and asks, am I a good driver in real life? I have not been in a car accident since I was in my 20s. That was the last time. Then again, I don't drive that much. So maybe if I drove way more often, I'd get into accidents more often. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not going to lie and be like, oh yeah, I'm an expert driver and I drive all the time, and, you know. But I've been in a few accidents when I was younger. When I was in high school, I had a Ford Escort, and one day I was driving home on the freeway. Whoa, I'm breaking here. I was driving home on the freeway, and it was only a 2-lane freeway, very narrow. And I was trying to lane change left, and as I was very calmly, with my blinker on and everything, lane changing left, someone was flying up in the left lane. They had to have been going like 90 to 100 miles per hour. They were like severely speeding. So I course corrected back to the right lane, but I was nervous and scared because I thought the guy was going to rear end me. So I narrowly avoided him, but I overcompensated. And I, hit the right divider, or the right guardrail, and I bounced off like a pinball, and my car bounced back and forth across the freeway and completely totaled. So I almost died. Luckily, it didn't do much damage to me, but the door impacted to like here, and the airbag stopped my head. So if I didn't have an airbag, I would be dead. I would have died when I was in high school. So that was my first car accident. Okay, then the next one I can remember, I was simply driving down the street and someone rear-ended me. But luckily it wasn't hard. Like, it was just like a boom, it hurt. But then when we got out and we looked, there was no damage. So that was like my second accident ever. And that one just, we walked away from it and we just let it go. Like, I didn't even do any insurance or anything. The third accident I was in wasn't me driving. I was in a car with my friends, and we were going to a Street Fighter tournament. And we had just gotten onto the highway. It's not the freeway, but the highway. And I remember we were all in the car together. We were, hanging out, talking. And my friend literally leaned over to adjust the radio because he wanted to get the radio to a good song. He touched the radio once. He looked up. Traffic, bumper to bumper, too late, couldn't stop, rear-ended the car. And it created a conga line of rear endings. It was like an accordion. Like 5 cars all rear-ended each other. So that was awful, because then I'm sure his insurance must have skyrocketed, and he was still in his 20s, so I'm sure he got into a lot of trouble for that, and it probably made him like way expensive to drive for a while. I'm trying to think of all the accidents I've been in. The next accident that I was in, I was driving, and I was coming home from a Street Fighter tournament, again with my friends in the car, and as we were driving home, it was from New Jersey. I remember we were going from New Jersey back to Connecticut. A giant blizzard broke out while we were driving. Okay, it was really bad, like heavy snow coming down, but we were already halfway home. But we got to keep going, so we just kept going. And basically, it got so bad, the driving conditions got so ridiculously bad that there was no way to effectively stop your vehicle unless you were very careful. And I was driving slow. I was maybe going 20 miles per hour on this freeway, and under the snow was black ice. So the car just went phoop, and I couldn't stop it, and we just went right off the freeway into the forest. And luckily, there was a snowbank that had built up right in front of a tree. So we went and stopped in the snow. If there hadn't been that much snow, we would have gone right into the tree, but we got lucky. And in that case, there was no damage to my car. I got incredibly lucky that there was no damage at all. There's a red light right here. Very, very lucky that day that there was no damage to the car. So we were actually stuck in the snowbank, and luckily a good pedestrian, a good Samaritan, I should say, not pedestrian, a good Samaritan pulled over to help us and had a snow shovel in their car and helped us dig the car out because we were completely stuck in snow. It was insane. And then the last time, or wait, no, that really was the last accident that I had. The only other time that something ever happened was once I was backing out in a parking lot. This was a long time ago. I was backing in a parking lot, and there was one of those pickup trucks that is so huge. I mean, you're talking about the giant ones, right? So the pickup truck's bed stuck out halfway. This was like at a mall parking lot, okay? It literally stuck out halfway into the way you're supposed to be driving through. So I'm backing out from a spot across the way, and everything I'm seeing is good, but the truck is so huge on the other side, I didn't see it, and I actually backed my car into the back of the truck. Did I damage the truck? Did I just wreck my car? And I pulled it forward, and come to find out, I did. I damaged the back quadrant of my car. which sucked, obviously. But then the truck was completely untouched. The truck looked pristine because, of course, the truck is huge. And on top, I backed into it and it just crushed the back quadrant of my car. So that was the last time. That was like, I'm trying to remember when that was. I can't even remember. It was so long ago. So that was about it. Outside of the totaling of my car in high school, that's the only real serious issue I've ever had. Tickets and stuff, I had one speeding ticket ever. Once a cop pulled me over for running a red light. Stuff like that. Like really basic stuff. Nothing crazy, So I guess you could say I'm not a bad driver, but at the same time, I don't drive that often.
Well, Phil, as long as you have nothing on your record since you moved to Washington State, I say we're fine here. Who cares? But really, you were driving through a blizzard and you ever thought, like, let's stop and stay at a hotel? You're between New Jersey and Connecticut, like that tri-state area. I'm sure there's tons of hotels there, Phil. Just stop driving and stay safe, because you could have got you and your friends really hurt.
Okay, so thank you to Starline for that £2 super chat. Let's get that up on the leaderboard.
Yeah, he got like 8 to 10 minutes of talking out of Phil right there. That's definitely getting your money's worth for a £2 super chat. I'd say that. It's like a Snow Carl tip, but it's Snow Carl tip goes right. Too bad Snow Carl doesn't tip him anymore. Or infrequently. I don't really keep up with the Snow Carl lore.
And then AI Podcast gifted a sub. Our first gifted sub of the night. Well, thank you to AI Podcast for that.
Yeah, so this AI podcast guy is somebody who restreams Phil on Kick, basically. And then he supports Phil or something. I don't know.
So we got 1 sub and 1 super chat tonight. Who's going to be our first tip of the night? We're up to $7 of support. Now, guys, I said this when we started, but I'll reiterate, especially for the on-demand audience, because you guys usually miss the intros that I give to the stream audience.
Yeah, you ain't really missing much on-demand audience. You're just missing some chill begging segments. Something really to write home about.
I've enjoyed Taxi Life the last couple of weeks. We looked at some of the DLCs. There are a couple. One, you're just basically a DoorDash delivery driver. So what's the difference between that and having fares? Literally none. It's about speed, so the food's not cold. So it's pretty much almost identical to what we're doing right now. So it's really not much of a DLC. The other DLC just came out last week, okay? That DLC is you are a tour guide. You're driving a convertible cab. And you can open the top of your cab, and as you're driving around, you hit landmarks with the people in the back. You tell them, oh, this is the landmark. Like, basically, you're giving them a tour of the city. That could be interesting long term. If we get bored of just the taxi cab sim, we could maybe do that. That's only a few bucks, too. It's not expensive or anything. So there are some possibilities long term if you guys would like to see it. But we've done this stream twice. I've liked doing it. But I just noticed distinctly tonight, and this is just on stream, attendance is lower than it's been for this. And right now, we've started and we only got like $7 of support. That could obviously change, okay? But all I want to let you guys know is we have 2 driving sims in the rotation. If one of them isn't working and the other one is, then we don't have to do 2. Right now, Truck Sim's doing very well. I just spent a lot of money on the DLCs for it, and we started driving in Texas. People seem to really like it. They want me to go to other places. So that's doing fine. Taxi Sim, let's see how it does tonight. Taxi Life. I keep calling it Taxi Sim. Taxi Life, let's see how it does tonight. If we have a good time together, great. We can keep it in the rotation. But if we end up being a dramatic slowdown tonight and the support and everything is slow, then we don't have to do it again. But I'm curious how it goes and what you guys think. And, I personally like the game. I do. I think that it's kind of fun. It's very different from the Truck Sim. So let's see how it goes for the rest of the night. Okay?
Yeah, Phil does not know how to sell a game whatsoever. What he's doing here, he doesn't realize it, is that he is actually telling his audience that this game is on the chopping block and it's not going to stay. So they're not going to be incentivized to donate. Here's the thing, people don't like being pressured to give you money, Phil. If they like something and they want to see you continue playing it, they will give you money. They don't need to be pressured, because if you do this thing where like, okay, every game, if we don't hit 150 every single stream, it's going to be dropped, people are going to be less inclined. They're going to hold their money to the things that they like most. They're going to preserve their funds. They're going to tighten their wallets on you instead of opening them up like you want. So they're going to do the exact opposite of what you want them to do, because you don't entertain. You're like, okay, if one stream doesn't hit the goal, we're getting rid of every game that happens with it. That's not a good way to get a sustained playthrough. You're not going to finish a lot of games doing that. And you're not going to build up your audience's hype or support doing that either.
Mozzie is asking, let's take this task. Mozzie is asking, would I ever visit Barcelona for real? I've said this before. My wife and I have shared the interest of one day going to Europe and doing kind of a European tour, of the major, cities and things out there. What is this idiot doing? Why are you driving towards me, you idiot? I'm trying to turn left. So, some of the places we'd like to go, obviously England, France, Spain, Italy, maybe Germany. Those are kind of like the big 5 that I think of. Although there might be some other nice places too. I've heard you can take a train that there's a giant train in Europe that you can take to most of the major countries. And so that just might be a fun thing to do, is jump on the train, go to one country, spend a day or 2 there. Jump on the train, go to the next one, right? That could be fun. So we've talked about it. It's really not in the cards right now, but maybe sometime, in the next 20 years, perhaps, we'll see. If things keep going the way that they're going with support and everything, we could probably do it. Realistically, yeah, we could probably do that. And that would be a really awesome trip because we've never been on a major trip together. We didn't get to go on a honeymoon when we got married 6 years ago. So it would probably be really nice to do something like that.
DSP, you won't even take your wife to the zoo. What do you think you're gonna suddenly take her to Europe of all places? And you hear him say like 20 years, Phil? You're like 43 right now. You're gonna go to Europe when you're 63 after you've saved up and panhandled? Like, he's got his plan. His plan is just to sit here in his office and beg endlessly and relentlessly. Because you gotta keep up your support so DSP can have his dream honeymoon and all of his fantasies can become reality. And let's be real, if we had like a GoFundMe for DSP and Cat's European vacation and we raised them like $20,000, you know what Phil would do with that money? He'd spend all of it on champions. And he's like, oh, Cat, we can't do it. And then the next day he goes on stream, he's like, well, we're not going on vacation because I had bills to pay, so you're going to need to support me even more now. That's what Phil would do. Let's be real. He ain't going on a vacation until he gets his sweet inheritance, if there's any left.
I think it was just a temporary thing anyway. Now she's happy, so it doesn't matter if I drive faster. Oh, what? That's the first time I've hit a pedestrian in the game. But you tell me what I was supposed to do. There was no one there anywhere visible. I'm turning. The pedestrian literally walked into my car as it was already turning, and I'm responsible. Wow. So I killed a pedestrian, apparently, even though, quite frankly, that was nonsense. That shouldn't have happened. The pedestrian literally walked into my car as I was turning. It had nothing to do with me doing something wrong. Unreal. All right, well, let's continue. Actually, Light, not really similar to Truck Sim. This is very different. This is pure city driving, and it is very, very stressful with pedestrians walking everywhere, stop and go constantly because of tons of traffic. It's really, really hectic is the best way to describe it. It's very hard for me to even watch you guys and like look at chat and talk because you're supposed to be paying attention all the time. And I already hit a pedestrian tonight who literally just walked into my car. I didn't do it. Like, I didn't strike the pedestrian. The pedestrian decided to walk into my moving vehicle, yet somehow I'm accountable for that. Don't really understand that, but hey, that's how the game works, I guess.
Yeah, dude, and you probably shouldn't be driving 50 miles per hour in a city setting, but it could be kilometers because Barcelona, so that'd be like 31, which is still, you gotta be careful when you're doing turns and there's a bunch of cars parked, so you can't have a huge amount of visibility, so you should probably go slower, Phil. Don't floor it. And you know what he should actually enable if he's having trouble with talking to his chat because he's too focused on the game? Super chat text-to-speech. Ever thought about that, Phil? I know you'd never do it because you're afraid of what the trolls would do, but that would be an easy way for you to get interaction. Because you don't have to stare at the screen, you just have to listen.
Yeah, and it was off screen. Like, you couldn't even see the pedestrian, so what did they do? Walk into the back of my car? How do I stop that? Nice and smooth. That was a pedestrian who walked into my car. Did you see that? She almost hit me.
Here's the framing here. She almost hit me, not I almost ran over her. Dude, you're the driver. You're supposed to ensure that pedestrians are safe on the road when you are driving. You're not supposed to hurt people. This reminds me of the Bart Oates episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force when Coral had to apologize to a woman he ran over, and he's at her grave. He's like, I was not waving you on. I was flipping you off. I'm like, okay, that just sounds like Phil. That just seems so Phil.
I would say my major problem with the game right now is the turns are way too sharp on some of these streets. Like, ridiculously sharp. And honestly, unless I'm driving insanely slow, I don't know how I'm supposed to make these turns. Remember, I bought the improved brakes. I'm not seeing much improvement, to be honest with all of you. I don't think the brakes are working very well. I had the same issue last time, if you remember. I kept saying I kept trying to slam on the brakes and the car would keep going. And it feels like the same thing's happening tonight. And I bought the improved brakes and they don't feel very good. Would I ever play Bus Simulator? I don't know anything about a bus simulator.
What is the deal with people wanting to see DSP playing driving games? I don't get it whatsoever. It's like, why?
Excuse me. The good news is we did get a tip. A 39 euro tip. Well, I can already tell you virtually in the game tonight, I've made a lot more than I have in real life. So, guys, if you like Taxi Life, if you could support it, please do tonight, okay?
Yeah, guys, step up. It would be nice if I made more money on the stream than I did in the actual game. Like, are you kidding me? They know how to tip me in the game. You don't know how to tip me in real life? Come on, I eat it into your heads every single stream, every 5 minutes. Open up your wallets. Come on, don't you enjoy this engaging, chill, fun gameplay while I have this, drink with me? I bought the steering wheel and the brake pads. Come on, give me money. He's just so ungrateful for the support he's got tonight because it's not up to his standards whatsoever.
And I'm sorry, guys, it's hard for me to talk with you guys when I'm playing this because it's very hard to look at the chat and then look back without hitting something. So I'm doing my best. I hope you guys understand.
You see here, my job is to entertain you, but since I can't do that, I'm just going to beg harder.
Guys, it would be great to get some support tonight if you could, please. Support Taxi Life if you want to see it continue.
Guys, we hit the goal for the first and second stream. I don't know what's going on. If we don't hit the goal for the third stream, it's done for this game. That's not a good thing to do, Phil, because you're conditioning your audience to say every time we don't hit a goal, the playthrough is done. Like, that can get really hairy real fast. And then you'll be like, I'm out of games to play. All these hype new day one releases aren't giving me any money. I'm not making any money. Like, what's going on? People only gave me $90 today instead of the $150 I wanted. I guess we have to shelve this game. That's like the logical conclusion of it, and it's not working.
We popped the tire, everybody. That's interesting. Oh boy, here we go again. I have a flat. What are you doing? A flat tire. They're jumping in front of the car. The GPS is wrong because the GPS told me to come here, but it looks like it's on the other side. The GPS was incorrect and told me to go there, but you can't access it from there. It looks like we have to go from this street here. King Michael, I'm glad you're enjoying Taxi Life, but sadly it doesn't look like many others are.
Yeah, don't you want to tip $100 for this? Like right now in one setting, $100 to Phil so we can continue playing this game. Isn't this really fun and entertaining and chill and positive and meaningful? All those buzzwords. Don't you love this playthrough?
In 45 minutes, that's our third contribution of the whole night. I'm getting the feeling you guys aren't liking this game anymore.
Dude, let's be real. You only really get 3 to 5 contributions in 45 minutes anyway. It's just if it's a big contribution or not. None of those 3 contributions were your big criteria of like $20 or more. This is what you're flipping out about. This is what you're complaining about. Because if you had 3 only iced coffee tips of $50 each, it wouldn't be a huge deal. But now, because you're only getting the quote-unquote cheap support, as you put it, you're saying, no, we can't continue to play this game because Only Iced Coffee does not like Taxi Life this stream, apparently. I don't know. Great business model you got there.
So, I mean, honest question, everyone. Are you guys bored of this game? Seriously, are you bored? Because it's very hard for me to even talk with you guys when I'm playing it. It is. Like, it's very hard for me to speak with you because I have to pay attention to the game. And if you're not finding the game very entertaining, then we don't have to do it anymore. If you're actually legit bored of Taxi Life, then we'll just say, screw it, and we'll call it now. If you're bored of it. Are you bored? Yeah? Yeah, people are saying yeah.
Let's be real. If he had 120 across 3 tips, he'd still be playing this game right now. Yeah, Phil failed to make another game entertaining.
All right. Well, I guess we'll call it audible. I'm sorry, guys, that we started, and since people are bored, I guess we'll just like hang out then instead. I would much rather have a social night with all of you hanging and chilling and having a drink or two and having a good time rather than us play this and you're going to be bored. You know what I mean? I'd rather hang out with you. Okay. All right. Fair enough, guys. For Taxi Life, it is what it is. It's a fine sim game, but people are saying that they're bored. What can I do, right? I'm not going to keep playing a game when people are saying that they're legit bored and they don't care for it. So I hope that you enjoyed the 5 hours or so that we played of Taxi Life. And thanks for watching.
I mean, I get it if your audience is bored and you want to shift gears. Like, that's totally acceptable. But what's the thing that's going on here? Like, it hit the tips goal first time and the second time. Why is it low this stream? What's changed? It's not like DSP got more entertaining. So why is it just suddenly flopping right now? Maybe it was the pre-roll ads and the 20 minutes of complaining about GTA 4 mods. Maybe people were like, yeah, I'm not interested tonight. That could be why. Or maybe only as Coffee didn't feel like opening up his wallet because he was saving for the best marathon. Ever thought of that? Or maybe they really wanted the garbage AI music, let's be real. It could be that too, hilariously enough.
Okay. Had a good run. What else can we say, right? Had a good run, but if you're bored, you're bored. That's fine with me. We can just hang out then. That's what we'll do. Okay? WP says there's 250 people watching. You should do a vote, but it's up to you. If literally everyone in chat who's here interacting just said they're bored, everyone who speaks in chat, including regulars, said, yeah, we're bored with this. It doesn't matter that there's 250 people watching. No one cares, right?
He won't do a poll because the trolls will just flood into the stream and vote keep playing Taxi Life because Phil isn't getting money right now. That's exactly what happened. That's why he asked the chat. He will never do a live poll because the live poll will just be troll infiltrated. That's just how it is because Phil feeds the trolls too much.
It sounds like when people are tuning into the driving streams, they want to hang out with me. And there's dead air when I'm driving around because there has to be, because I have to pay attention. So therefore, it's not fun. Okay, fair enough. I mean, that makes sense. That's totally fair and fine, and I'm not angry about that. We'll just hang out then for the rest of the night, okay? Okay. Oh, let's close the game here, and let's just hang out then. All right, we're all set to go. Let's hang out. And no, we're not going to be playing any other games tonight. I don't have time to set anything up. We're just going to hang out for the rest of the night and chill. All right? Phew.
Yeah, he was already wasting your time when he was setting up the stream overlay for Taxi Life. He's not going to do that twice because that's just an inconvenience to him. It's an inconvenience for him to play another game. Yeah, he's a gaming streamer and he won't play 2 games in one stream. That's just too difficult for him. It's too complex.
Will just did a $50 super chat saying, do some Mario Kart. People want it. We did Mario Kart last night. I have no desire to play Mario Kart again. And, excuse me, quite frankly, sorry about that disgusting belch out of nowhere. Quite frankly, I wouldn't play Mario Kart. It takes too much attention, too much control. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to play something competitive, I would not be drinking. So, I'm not doing Mario Kart tonight, okay? But thank you, Will, for a $50 super chat.
Yeah, so the point of these streams is not entertain you, it's for me to do well competitively so I can soothe my ego. That's just how it is. I'm not here to entertain you, I'm not here to have a chill fun time, I'm just here to sit and beg and collect your money. And if I'm playing games, I'm only going to play games well. I'm not going to make a complete buffoon of myself and lose constantly because I'm not in the best state of mind. No, I can't be bad at games. I'm a pro gamer, dude. What are you talking about? Like, here's the thing, if I wasn't getting a lot of money on a stream playing a game and someone's like, yeah, here's 50 bucks, go play Mario Kart, I'm like, sure, why not? Like, I guess he thinks that he's oversaturating it because, like, the last time he played it a marathon, then he played it the day after. But here it's a little different. This is very impromptu. If people want you to play Mario Kart tonight and you're not getting support anyway, why bother? Just turn on the game and play it. Because you're not playing it until next week anyway. It's not like you're playing it tomorrow. Just go with the flow. But he will never do that. He wants to do what he wants to do. And like the last time this happened, he had like a whole brainstorming session where it took him like 100 minutes to figure something out. Here, somebody just gave him money and said, do something. He's like, no, because he's like insulted. He's like, you're trying to take control of my stream. Like somebody gives him a suggestion and he immediately shoots it down. It's like oppositional defiant disorder.
Here we go. Let's start recording. We'll start talking. We'll see what you guys want to chat about. All right? What do I mean? Well, tonight we were actually playing Taxi Life. As you can see, I had my racing wheel set up. And as I'm playing it, people basically realized, we've seen everything in this game pretty much. You're just driving around doing the fares, and people kind of got bored. They were like, man, we really like the truck sim streams, because when you do truck sim, you can answer our questions and we can interact and hang out. With Taxi Life, you have to pay so much attention to the game that you really can't talk with us. So people have gotten bored of it. When everyone's bored to tears.
Yeah, the game only had like 3 hours of content. That's really the shelf life for a Dark Side Phil playthrough nowadays, because he doesn't make the game entertaining. He expects the game to carry the streams, and it's like, Phil, you're supposed to carry the streams.
I already told you guys I'm not doing Mario Kart tonight, so asking you're just wasting your time and your breath. We're not. I played Mario Kart last night. I already told you guys once a week is more than enough for me in Mario Kart. It's a frustrating game. I would never play Mario Kart World while drinking, that's for sure. So that's not happening tonight.
Yeah, I don't want to do what you want to do. This is my stream. I don't care if you give me money or not. I'm not doing what you want me to do. Stop asking, stop giving me money. I'm just gonna sit here and complain and whine and moan and beg. That's what I like doing. I don't like playing Mario Kart. Are you kidding me?
How many dinosaurs can you keep making and doing the same mistake?
Well, essentially, that's the same premise for a DSPgaming playthrough, so what are you critiquing here?
What is happening here? Someone tipped $1.25, says you played Mario Kart in a marathon when you drank all day. Why not now? That was completely against AI, right? I didn't do competitive online play. The game is very frustrating competitive online. I would not do well. I'm not stupid. If you're going to do competitive online games, you have to be on the game. You can't be all slowed down and everything. So that's why.
Yeah, Phil's ego is so fragile that he can't handle being bad at a game for one stream. He's like, no, I can't do this. People will laugh at me. I'm not playing well. He thinks the entertainment is him playing well at a game. No, you're supposed to interact and engage with your audience. If the gameplay is bad, it doesn't matter, as long as people are having fun, Phil. The problem with you, Phil, is you're only having fun when you're winning. Otherwise, you're complaining, and that's not fun to watch, except for people who are watching you ironically, because they love the rage.
Dark Side Stranding, we have quit Taxi Life because people were bored to tears. They were literally saying, we are so bored, stop playing it, so I did. I listened to my audience feedback now.
Except for the guy that super chatted me $50. I'm gonna completely ignore him.
Princess Luna, how you doing? $10 super chat. Good evening, King. Hope everything's going well. No taxi. I just explained. We were doing it and people got really bored. I don't blame them. When you're doing truck sim, you're driving on the highway and you can put it in cruise control and watch, and you can read chat and interact, and then you can talk. You can't do that in Taxi Life. Taxi Life is like intense concentration on what you're doing. If you don't pay attention, you hit pedestrians, you're driving off the road, and quite frankly, it's not the most riveting gameplay loop. So people have gotten bored of it within only 3 streams, so we're done with it. It sucks, what can you do? But hey, it worked for the first 2 streams. I'm not upset. But now on to other stuff. But rather than trying to call a Hail Mary audible here and change everything around, we'll just hang out.
Yeah, so that is a football term, American football, if you are unfamiliar with it. I'm like, why does he keep saying audible? Phil is just complaining and whining. He has to give his whole explanation to Only Iced Coffee, so I guess Only Iced Coffee didn't see the earlier parts of the stream, because otherwise he probably would have saved Taxi Life or something, I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows what Only Iced Coffee likes or what he doesn't like. But Phil, really, he is literally setting himself up for failure because his goals are too high. So when your expectations are too high, your audience is going to have a tough time meeting them. If he lowered his goal to $100 and said the second goal $200, he'd probably end up making more money than having it $150 and $300. He's just too greedy, and it shows. He doesn't get that if you appreciate that support you get, you end up getting more support. He doesn't appreciate any support he gets. It's either $50 tip or get out. That's the Phil way. And that's why Phil only has 5 whales to support him now instead of a robust community of people that want to see him do well, because he banned them all.
All right, with that, folks, we are exactly halfway to our support goal for tonight, and thank you for that. And we got an hour left, roughly. All right, so can we get some support? Can we get some super chats? Can we get a tip? We have no tips tonight at all, if you can believe it.
Guys, I pride myself on being a gaming YouTuber and a gaming live streamer, so I just quit a game and complained about mods in a game and the like, and I can't believe that I have no tips today. What's going on? Why are there 0 contributions? Why does it feel like that $50 super chat was from Only Iced Coffee? I don't know. What's going on tonight, guys? Give me money.
We only have 1 sub, I think. So if we can get some more support from every various, source, that would help a lot. Obviously, we want to keep the momentum going this week. Work towards DSP Tries It. The Grillo's Pickles menu. I know you want it. You guys all screamed about it for a week. So, okay.
Yeah, this guy is so cheap that he hit the goal for it already, but he substituted it for something else because it wasn't on the delivery app day one. It comes on the delivery app a day later, and I was like, okay, since we already got a reward for that, even though I promised it already, you're gonna have to hit an extra 10 goals to get it. So it's basically 3,000 for him to eat Brillo's Pickles. Are you kidding me at this point? If that happens again, you just need to plan in advance, and if it doesn't go the way you want, you either hold on to it, or since it happened the way it is, do it right now. And it's like you wonder why your fans are withholding. It's like when you do stuff with this, it's just like a rug pull. You can't substitute things at the last minute, Phil. If it gets online for you to order it, that means you do it immediately when it shows up. You don't wait for another goal to be hit. That's ridiculous. It's just greedy because you can't think of another fast food item to eat. Seriously.
Okay, now we'll see what happens moving forward with the game, if it continues to get that level of engagement and support or not. I'm down to keep it in the rotation as long as people show up for it, and they did today. So...
yeah, so the game he's talking about is Death Stranding 2, a AAA game, and Phil is literally threatening to pull that game as well. And he wonders why his playthroughs don't get a lot of support nowadays, because if you keep threatening to pull every game, people will be like, what's my money worth if it's just going to be thrown away and we're not going to see the end goal? What's like the point of it? This is what happens when you hype the game up instead of the streamer.
what about pomade or hair gel for a DSP Tries It? If no one cared about cologne, why would they care about pomade or hair gel? And by the way, just for the record, I don't use hair gel. I can't because I did. When I first grew out my hair in 2010 and then early 2011, I started using hair gel. I used it for like a year. All of the skin on the back of my neck and the skin on the top of my ears broke out in a horrendous rash. Come to find out, I have eczema. I didn't know that, but that was my first indication that I actually have it. And as I'm getting older, sadly, my skin is becoming more and more sensitive to everything.
Yeah, who really wants to hear about health and beauty from a 43-year-old live streaming man who just plays video games and sits in his office all day? It's like, that's not the demographic that we are looking for right here.
Basically, this year has been a good year so far, not to lie. But there's also been some stressful stuff going on, and if you haven't noticed, you guys don't know about any of it, which you're not going to know about it. Personal stuff is personal. I keep that separation now, thankfully. So you guys don't know about stuff that's going on as it's going on. But there has been some stressful stuff behind the scenes going on with us. And, you know, we're in a position right now where we're just not looking to do much of anything outside of just kind of maintain and hang out and, you know, just maintain that course. I certainly haven't made any kind of a ginormous fortune in the last year where now I'm in such a great position. I should be going out splurging to go to conventions or go on trips or anything like that, just to be honest. I'm basically getting on the right track with that stuff financially. So, you know, right now it's not in the cards. Like I said, maybe eventually we'll have a good, a good trip that we'll do. We were talking tonight about possibly going to Europe on the Taxi live stream, saying, hey, there's that train that goes through Europe that hits all the major European countries or something like that, right? That's a possibility.
Yeah, it's been a really good year for Phil as he has to beg and claw and scratch and panhandle his way to the top. He has such a successful business that he can't afford to take multiple days off a week. He has such a successful business that he has to continuously quit games. He has such a successful business that every playthrough he has some sort of problem. He has such a successful business that he's being trolled relentlessly on Kick. He is such a successful business that there's a swarm of detractor channels and interests growing in him since the casino arc. He's had such a successful business that his audience has been slashed in half. It's not going well for Phil because everything is going to WWE champions. So if he may be making more money, it's still getting thrown into champions. It's still a black hole. He's not saving money. He's not preparing for the future. He's just thinking about today and his instant gratification. And that just leads into more and more e-begging and more rage and more disappointment.
I know that I'm known worldwide because probably around 50% of my audience is international. The degree fluctuates, but at one point I had more than 50% of my audience was outside of the US. I just checked recently and I think it was like US 54%. So Yeah, you know, half the people who even care about me and watch me aren't in the United States.
Yeah, because there's a ton of English speakers in Europe and other parts of the world. English is one of the most common languages in the world, Phil. And when you go live on your podcast, it is prime time over in Europe. It's the middle of the day in the United States, so you may have your dents in the US and then other people that are watching you at night overseas.
Darkside Jasper has gifted 2 subs tonight over on Kick. Thank you so much, Darkside Jasper. I appreciate that very much, especially considering this week has been a really slow week on Kick.
He says this every week. It's always a slow week on Kick. If he doesn't get like $100 per stream on Kick, it's a slow week on Kick.
Don't ask me why. Seems like it's all over the place. Some weeks are great, some weeks are slow over there, and this has just been a particularly slow week. We're almost at the end. With only 2 days left in the streaming week, and you know, not a lot of support. We dropped hundreds of subs.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have only a handful of people supporting you. Because when they gift subs, it's only going to be that small handful of people that gift a huge amount of subs rather than people individually supporting you. Now, it's the same thing that happened on YouTube. But with Kick, it's a little different because there's like 100% LARPers on that stream. That's just how it is. So yeah, you're going to deal with these slow streams on Kick. It's just a reality because it's mostly LARPers. Only Iced Coffee may go over there and pretend to be a soccer account or something, but most of the people there are just there to LARP. They don't care at all when you hit the goal or not. They'd actually prefer it when you don't. Let's be real.
This week, I am hoping that the marathon on Friday is good, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. The Indivestdence Day. Ghost of Jay says, you are knowledgeable on Mario Kart SNES. Why aren't you as good at the new one? First off, being knowledgeable about something doesn't mean you're good playing it. There was no competitive play in Mario Kart on the SNES. It was a single-player game. You realize that, right? There was no online multiplayer. The most multiplayer was your friend comes over and you play a little bit. 2 players. That was it. So there was, you know, I know about more Mario Kart on SNES, but I'm not a pro at it or anything. You know, these Mario Kart games, over the years, they changed. Basically, when they hit the Nintendo DS, that's when it changed. Staking, the staking meta, that's when Mario Kart changed forever. Because then every game became a new gimmick. The snaking gimmick. Oh, this gimmick, that gimmick. You have to know every gimmick in order to do well at the game. Now, with Knockout Tour, it seems like the best way to play it is literally to sandbag. Meaning, suck, get the godlike item, drive yourself to like 5th place or even like top 8, and then use the godlike item to careen yourself into 1st. That seems like the only way to really play it smart. If you drive well, you still fail because the godlike items beat you. So, you know, it's different. All games evolve over time.
Yeah, during those games in like the 90s, like that era, Phil's very knowledgeable about that stuff. That doesn't mean he's good at anything. His skills have long since deteriorated. He's very much informed about fighting games. The other stuff, not really. Like he'll reminisce and tell you about things, but his understanding about the mechanics and the skills of those games are very lacking. So don't expect a huge special performance from him. It's just going to be regular Phil not being good at video games, because that is Phil Burnell in 2025. And even in like 2008, he wasn't very good at video games besides fighting games, because that's just Phil. And it's okay. You don't have to be good at games to be an entertaining streamer. It's just he thinks you have to be good at games to be entertaining, and he's not. So I guess he's not entertaining then.
Guys, we got about 15-20 minutes left on this stream. We're at $90 of support. Sure would be nice if you've enjoyed this chill session tonight of hanging out with me and me having a few drinks and talking, if you could support it. We're at $60 away from the goal. We're at 45 out of 50 goals hit. We want to hit 50 so we can do the Grillo's Pickles menu. Finally, it's on the delivery apps. I can order it. We want to keep this momentum going so we can do it soon. Please support the stream. If you haven't, I'm looking over at Kick. Thank you to Darkside Jasper and to the person earlier. I forget who it was who did 1 sub, but let's get some more support tonight if we can, please.
Dude, this is just completely pathetic. If you really wanted to hit that goal, you gotta stream longer. That's just how it is. You literally just rage quit the game. So if you want to hit that goal, you better be on for another hour, or at least be willing to be. Because if you said, hey, if we get more money, I will stream longer tonight just because it didn't work out, your audience would be incentivized to give you money. They're not really going to be greatly incentivized because you're just begging them right now. Maybe only Iced Coffee is, but the rest of the people, they are not.
Okay, guys, home stretch. I'll be here for another 10 minutes or so. So last chance if you got a question. Last chance to support the stream. Please, last chance to support. I know you guys like to tease. You like to build the suspense, do you not? You wait till the last minute. Oh, I'm going to support the stream. Absolute last minute. I can't be around late tonight, please. If we can hit the goal, it would be great.
Yeah, he thinks that people hold out until the last minute just because they don't want to give Phil an extra $10, $15 per stream. And that actually could be the case because he has so few people giving him money. It's like, well, I'm just going to wait and see if somebody else will do it. That's why you need more people, Phil. But you want less people. You want people you can control. And here's the problem, when you have less people, it's harder to get that quote-unquote control because you get less consistent support. Because if they happen not to be there that stream, if they have a life on their own and they can't watch you 12 streams a week, what are you going to do?
So last chance, if you have a question or a contribution, we haven't had a contribution in a while now.
Yeah, guys, we need a contribution every 5 minutes or Phil's going to whine about it at intervals. He's very consistent in asking for support and looking at whether he's gotten support. He has his watch here. He's got his timer on. It's set. How many minutes since he's gotten support? It can't be longer than 5, guys. You got to step up. He's so ridiculous.
Last chance, last hurrah for the stream. Thanks for 99 bucks. It sucks that it looks like we're not going to hit the goal because Taxi Life kind of reached its end of life expectancy here.
Yeah, it's totally on the game's fault instead of me that I didn't get an extra $50 this stream. And even though I just completely pulled the game and you've been supporting me for this hour, over the $75 per hour rate that I want for this night stream, I'm still not going to throw you a bone and say, hey, I'll add this to the goal total. Because I don't want you getting cheap on me. I don't want to be forced to lower the goal to $100. I need more than that.
It is what it is, but, you know, last chance, if you would like to, contribute or talk about anything particularly.
Yeah, commence the panhandling. The closer we get to the 2-hour mark, the panhandling goes up. It's just beg, 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 no chill. This is so entertaining, Phil.
No, it's not that there's no more steering wheel wallets. That's not the case. Taxi Life just got boring because the whole game is me driving and having to pay so much attention to the city driving. I can't interact with my audience. That sucks. People want to interact with me. They don't want me to have to be doing this and then can't talk, guys. Sorry, got a fare to do. Oh, pedestrian. Oh, they got bored of it. You know, it's a very different game. I think we were expecting it to be a chill game just like Truck Driving Sim, and it's not. It's very, very different. And that's it for Taxi Life. Maybe we'll be looking for another game to add to the rotation. We'll see. Someone took me $1.11 and wants me to show them my toilet. No. Maybe it'll be troubleshooting to try to get the GTA 4 mods to work because they are working, but there's this weird filter I can't get off. I don't know what's going on. Sucks we didn't hit the goal. That's life.
Yeah, that is the Taxi Life for Phil. He did not hit the goal tonight. And that's it for Taxi Life. He's pulling the plug on it because just one goal. Phil does not have the ability to make games entertaining, so he's just going to get rid of the games when they don't hit the support goal that he expects. And since it's not all tips, he's going to have to wait for that money later. So he's like, yeah, I want more now instead of waiting for it later because I want the tips. I don't care about the super chats no matter how large they are because I get them a month later. I want them now. So that's why he has this issue of a $150 goal because it is literally combining everything from Kick, YouTube, and his PayPal tips. So it leads to less goals being hit, and the rewards are really a reward for him. So it's like, why do you really feel like you should support Phil to hit the goal? And that's why he's having problems with a lot of playthroughs these days that he can't get to completion because he just whines, oh, we only got $50 today. 3 years ago, if he got 75 to 100, he would have been fine. Now, because he has to wait, he's like, wait, I can't play Champions tonight because I only got $25 in tips. Because the support I got was 100, but only 25 of that came in PayPal tips, so I only have 25 of that accessible right now. So that's why he's having a lot of these quote-unquote failure streams because it doesn't meet his instant support expectations. And that's where we are right now, so Phil can't sustain games or playthroughs very long, because his audience gets bored of his gameplay because he's not entertaining or interactive. And it's funny because him chilling with his audience worked tonight, but it won't work all the time, and Phil absolutely knows that. But does Phil ever think maybe instead of 12 gameplay streams a week, I should do like 8 or 10, or maybe of those 8 to 10 I do like 1 or 2 would be a just chatting thing? Like at the night especially when it's only 2 hours instead of like 3 hours of gameplay? No, he doesn't. He just does the same thing, and if it doesn't work, he begs.